we are going to be doing a competitive chat on Army of Thraw. I am again here with Arash. Hi Arash, how's it going?
Not bad, man. How are you?
I'm absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to talking about some dwarfies. Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
I think we've both been playing around with Army of Thraw recently, and being like evil players. It's a bit of a shock, really. We're playing a good faction. I feel dirty.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't feel natural, but I'm enjoying it. I really am.
I'm absolutely loving these guys. They're just nuts. Like I did that tournament, and yeah, they just blew me away. They did way better than I expected. They were way more fun than I expected. Like
They really are. They have some of the play aesthetics of an evil army. They've got those throwing daggers. They've got the strength 4. They've got the two-handed weapons, the piercing strike. I like it.
like if I had to pick a good faction apart from like Dead of Dunharrow maybe to be like the closest to being evil, it's probably the dwarves with their lack of like interest in the War of the Ring to an
Lack
extent.
of empathy for the world.
Yeah, like I mean, obviously they did the defense in the north, all that kind of stuff, but they're not exactly like cutting about, are they?
Yeah, the dwarves aren't in NATO. Let's just say that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I love their heroes. I love their troops. They got a Chad stack block, like a stat block, absolute Chad, and that's perfect for me. I love them.
Defense level of heroes, mate. Like most heroes are wounding them on 6s.
I think
That average chaff infantry.
heroes are jealous of these guys for their defense. Like some of them. So what we're gonna do?
Crying with envy.
He really is. Oh, poor evil heroes. They wish. They wish. So what we're going to do is quickly give an overview of the army. Like, I mean, quick. I will do like a full faction breakdown at some point where I go nitty gritty into every detail. But then we'll go into our little competitive kind of chat where we kind of discuss how our games go, our kind of like ideal lists, and things like that. Like, what are our star players in our lists? So, I'll jump straight into it. The army bonus, I think, is absolutely solid, and basically it makes Thraw 6-inch banner for friendly arable dwarves. That's nuts.
Yeah.
6-inch banner, 120 points. Thor is, by the way, and he's a 6-inch banner, and he is defense 9 with 3 attacks, 3 wounds, 3 might, 3 will, 1 fate, but he's got the Arkenstone. So if he passes on a 3+, but if he rolls a 4+, and apparently you can might it from a 3 to a 4, he gets his fate refunded. So if you roll like a god, like I have done in my games before, he's literally, you cannot kill him.
Infinite fate.
Yeah, and that's such a hard pill to swallow for your opponent when they're rolling 6s to wound this absolute Chad king, and you just roll a 4+ and be like, sweet, that cost me nothing.
Just picture this, right? You've transfixed. Let's say you're playing Mordor. You've transfixed him. Great. He can't strike up. Oh, let's say you channel transfixed him. So his 5 value's been half. Great. You've surrounded him with Morannon Orcs with axes who have now piercing strike on the strength 5. Great. You've done everything right. You've trapped him. You still need 6s to wound him. And even if you wound him, he's probably not going to die because of the Arkenstone and 3 might.
It's just defense 9. That's absolutely bonkers. What does strength 4 needs? Yeah, 6s by 4s to wound him, and that's most heroes.
6s by 4s. Strength 5, even if you piercing strike with Morannon Orcs, you need 6s. Like it's horrible. It's horrendous. And even if you do get a wound, Arkenstone, I'll Arkenstone it.
Yeah, there's only like 2 heroes that I'd be scared to die against with this guy, and that is Strider with his lightsaber and Azog. But
yeah.
Even then, like if you roll like a god on your fate, you you won't die. You just
sticking around.
Yeah,
you are sticking around,
and that's what you want your leader to do. Realistically, that's what you want your leader to do. You don't want to give VPs away, and on top of that, if you do pull Contest of Champions, as much as I hate that scenario, he's still got 3 attacks at strength 4 at fight 6, so he's solid.
Yep. With strike. And what he can also do is, if you've got essentially a very, very, very killy hero on the other side, but but they're great at killing infantry, not so much defense 9 heroes, he could just tag that hero for a while the rest of your army puts in work, take out that hero, and then whatever's left he can kill, and that way you can triple your opponent's kills whilst getting the leader kill as well.
It's absolutely not like I've had this guy like tie up a great beast of Gorgoroth and things like that. It's like, come on then, bro, let's do this. Oh, I love it.
It's horrible. It's horrible for your opponent. Defense 9 with the Arkenstone.
Yeah.
And he's a 6-inch banner.
All for 120 points.
Yeah.
Oh, and
let's not say too much, otherwise they're going to change that.
yeah. Oh, one more point. He's a hero of legend. Free, stand fast, auto pass. Like, yeah, 18-point models in his warband. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Auto include in this army list.
There's something I love about him the most, which synergizes with this army brilliantly, and that's his role to bring Guardians of the King, or whatever they're called, where you get a Grimhammer, and for 1 point extra, they go to Strength 4. So you have a 12-point Strength 4 D7 model with the ability to go two-handed, piercing strike or bash, +1 to wound with throwing axes.
Yeah, it's just dumb. I love it.
And you can take 18 of them.
Yeah, they're always okay. Always make them Guardians of the King if you can. I don't think I've ever run a Grimhammer that isn't an Guardian of the King at the moment.
Yeah,
Because like just the ability to be +1 to wound at Strength 5 is just disgusting.
it's horrendous. With throwing weapons, never underestimate throwing weapons, because he has a Ring of Durin as well. So if you position your Grimhammers very, very well, and you can get that volley of throwing weapons going in, and you lose the priority roll, guess what? I can re-roll the priority roll once a game, and if I win that turn, throwing axes are coming your way, and you're probably going to kill 3 or 4 models, because they're strength 3. It's a decent strength. 4+ to hit, 18 guys. That's 9 hits on average.
Yeah,
You're going to do some damage.
I think throwing weapons are absolutely phenomenal. Charge in, and if you kill a dude, you kill a dude, as in like remove a model, and then you get to charge something else if you've got movement remaining. It's just nuts. Like, yeah. Oh, I love it.
I can't think of anything wrong with this guy.
And what's really important about having thrown weapons in a dwarf list is quite a lot of people try and like kite dwarves in a way, so they'll sit 6 inches away so they can charge you with their infantry, but you can't charge them back. You just laugh at them and throw axes at their face.
Exactly. You just increase your threat range from 5 inches to 11, essentially.
Yeah. And on top of that, I mean, I might as well talk about the Grimhammer stat block quick. They're, 11 points, 12 points as Guardians of the King. They're Fight 4, Defense 7, Courage 4. They're not going anywhere. They're so good. Downside, they're Strength 3 standard, but obviously Guardians of the King bop them up to Strength 4. They're probably like up there, one of the most solid profiles with the thrown weapons, I think.
I think these are probably on par for me with the average Corsair warrior in terms of just the utility they provide for the points they provide. He's 12 points, defense 7, with a weapon that can go hand and a half and can have 2 special strikes. You can piercing strikes. These guys go up to strength 5 if you need to, and if you bring Thorin, they can go up to strength 6 for 1 turn whilst piercing striking, which is horrendous. And if you need to, in a pinch, they can bash as well. So if you're fighting a hero of Rohan with Horse Lord, instead of killing the horse and then using Fate to keep the horse around, just bash them off.
It's so good. And just to put how important Strength 6 +1 to wound is into perspective, if you're quite new, you're killing a fully armoured elf with a shield on 3s. Because the Strength 6...
That's what we love to hear.
That's dumb. That's just nuts. Anything higher, pretty much. I mean, Strength 5, how far does that go? 5? Yeah. You're killing everything on like 5s and 4s. It's just dumb. I can't think of any infantry that isn't a fellow dwarf or a ghost that you're not killing on 4s.
That is, buy your opponent and drink afterwards, give him a hug territory. Like, you're gonna make neckbeards cry.
You will. They'll be stroking them neckbeards they'll be sipping that little half pint you bought them as a sorry.
Why am I 16 health though? It's not working.
Yeah. Why am I winning this guy on 6s by 4s with my elf bow? It's like...
This is not helping. Lake Town was supposed to be meta. Jay, help.
Yeah. Oh, it's normal. Yeah, Lake Town 6s by 4s, isn't it, for defense 7?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you ally an Iron Hill, 6s by 5s, boy. 6s by 6s on Thor. Just don't even bother. Just stay home. Leave your bows at home.
I've had a game where someone tried to shoot Thraw and it just didn't go well. He just soaked up everything. Defense 9. It's just crazy. So
he just can't take damage.
With Thorin, I love Thorin. I haven't personally used him that much because the next hero I'll talk about kind of takes his place for me. But I know you have a Rash.
Yeah.
But yeah, Thorin, that's what you expect. 100-point hero, you know, fight 6, 3 might, 3 will, 3 fate, strength 4, defense 8 with the what's it called? The Oakenshield. Yeah. 3 attacks, 3 wounds. Courage 6. He's solid. He's got strike. He's got defense. They're my 2 favorite heroics to have. Yeah, he's a monster.
Yeah, he's very good. He's got 3 might. He's got might, will, and fate in all the right places. He's got the right wounds, the right fight value. He's got the ability to shield and also make 1 strength 4 attack after shielding as well. So he's quite survivable. I think he has heroic defense as well, so he can stick around if you need him to. And he's also got that special rule once per game where all dwarf models within 3 inches of him. I think it's all dwarf models, not just all. What's it? Army of Thraw models.
It is arable.
Oh, it is. But they all get +1 strength. So even your basic warriors, which we'll come on to, go up to strength 4, strength 5 if they're piercing strike, because everyone in this army has an axe essentially. I think he's great. I think for 105 points, he's worth it completely. The reason I usually take him over the next profile we'll talk about, and I know you have a different opinion on that one, is just because I think we differ slightly in how we run this army.
Yeah.
I like to go with the dwarf army of Thor Horde, just so that you have so many D7 bodies on the field that it's near impossible for your enemy to break them, and it just becomes a chore, and it becomes tiring, and it becomes a war of attrition that they'll lose purely because of your defense value, and Thorin's just there for some longevity. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Thorin. I think if you want to run it as a horde army and pure army of Thor, go with Thorin.
I mean, yeah, I can see the post for running Thorin. Absolutely, he's cheaper than the chap I'm going to mention now. Yeah, he's like you said. He's got 3s in all the right places. He's got the right fight value. He's a solid, absolutely solid profile for 105 points with the Oakenshield. Yeah, I love him. So yeah, we talked about Thorin, your boy. I'm going to be talking about his father now.
There seems to be a theme of that in The Hobbit, where the fathers are better than their sons, but it's what it is.
We've got Thrain, the absolute chattiest Chad in this list. He's so cool, and his beard is absolutely magnificent. If you don't want to pick him for his stats, you pick him for his beard. Yeah, 120 points, which I personally think is an absolute steal. He's a hero of valor, so 15 models, nothing to sniff at. So's Thorin, but yeah. Yeah, he's got all the right keywords, but he is fight 6, he's strength 4, defense 8. He hasn't got a shield, by the way. He's 3 attacks, 3 wounds, courage 6, 3 might, 3 will, 3 fate. He's got 3s in all the right places, he's the right fight value. Strength 4 is not bad at all. And he comes with a master forged 2-handed hammer, so he's always +1 to wound, and that's why I love him. Because you've got this absolute troop killer. He's a hero killer. He can do whatever you really want him to do. I love him so much. On top of that, he's got heroic strike and defense, which is my 2 personal favorite heroics to have. He's survivable if you want him to be. So if you have got Azog on him and he's trapped, defense and just laugh at them, or you can strike. You know, he's just nuts. On top of that, I'm not going to mention the Ring of Durin because you're going to be bringing Thraw anyway, if you're running
Yeah.
your Iron Heels. But he can have that if you don't have Thraw, basically. And
Pretty much.
the reason I love him so much as well is how he synergizes with the army. He has the Durin's Air special rule, and basically what that is his stand fast affects all dwarves on the battlefield, including dwarf heroes. So you've got battlefield wide stand fast. Battlefield wide. That's nuts. And this guy's courage 6. So, and 3 will. It's just, yeah, if you fail your courage, like, you're a very unlucky sausage.
He ain't running.
He's not. And your dwarves ain't running. And the thing is, on the combination of being so hard to break because you're all defense 7 plus, and having a army-wide stand fast, like, you are going nowhere. It's the dwarves do what I think dwarves should do, and they stand and they fight to the very bitter end. I love him so much. He does so many things for my army. He's got the stand fast. He can kill troops. He can kill heroes, and he leads a decent amount of troops. I can't fault this guy at all. I wish he was strength 5, but near Thorin, once he can be strength 5 for 1 turn at +1 to wound, which can be kind of disgusting, or you can just bash people off the horses if you're feeling slightly spicy.
He gets +1 to wound, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's basically Burly. In case you don't know what Master Forged is, it's Burly. So you do not take a penalty to your dual roll for 2-handing your weapon.
So you're always going to 2-hand, right?
Yeah.
You're always going to 2-hand. Let's say you fight the Witch King on Fell Beast, okay? And you strike up, but you have the high fight value, and you 2-hand with your weapon, obviously, because you're always going to do that. You have the ability to bash. You have the ability to smash the Witch King off his Fell Beast completely. And this is something we should have mentioned with the Grimhammers as well, that their ability to bash is so great against those heroes on Fell Beasts, on horses, because you just dismount them. If you get that lucky win, which we all do at a tournament or at a game, we always get that lucky win against a heroic model when they roll absolutely naff. Bash them. What have you got to lose? They're going to be dismounted. They're going to be knocked prone. They're going to take falling damage.
Yeah, why not? Like if you've got standard troops in on that hero, and they're like defense 8 or something or 7, you're probably not going to kill them. You might as well bash. Get them off that horse, or you can just go and be absolutely mean and not kill their horse. But if you are fighting something on a Fell Beast, yeah, absolutely bash away. What's it? Swing away.
You know what? I'll take back my point on Thorin. Actually, you've converted me to Thrain. I think Thrain it's just superior to Thorin in every way. The only reason I would probably bring Thorin is if you're playing lower points values. But even then, it's only a 15-point difference for Thrain. That's what in this list, 1 dwarf and a bit. If you can bring Thrain, bring Thrain. But if you're bringing Thorin, you're either bringing him because you really have to save on points, or you're just bringing him for pure vibes like I am. But yeah, go Thrain wherever you can, because he is just a tank.
You know what? Let's do it. Comment section down below. You're either Team Thorin or Team Thrain, okay? Let me know.
Thrain for efficiency, Thorin for the vibes.
Yeah, exactly. We're going Twilight on this. Team Jacob. So, yeah, that's that covered. Do a quick honourable mention of the other characters. One of them shines more than the other. I don't run them over Thorin or Thrain, but I think it's worth mentioning, don't you, Arash?
Occasionally I run one of them. Occasionally.
Would that be young Balin by any chance?
No, it's not. It's young Dwalin.
What? Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's young Dwalin. We've got a lot to talk about here.
We have. Right. You know what? I'll let you go first. I went first. No, I went first. You went first with Thorin. I'll go first this time with young Balin.
Go for it.
Okay. The reason I love young Balin is because he's a hero of fortitude, so he can lead a decent amount of troops. He's 55 points. That is cheaper than chips. Seriously, like come round here, and chips are at least 60 points. He's okay in a fight. You know, he's fight 4, strength 4, defense 5, 2 attacks, 2 wounds, courage 6, 1 might, 3 will, 2 fate. Okay, he's okay, but that's not why you bring him. It's for the synergies. Okay. He's got a sword mace, so you can feint or bash. Cool. I can live with that. That's whatever. But what makes him amazing is he's got heroic defense, so you've got that 1 point of might if you do get into a scrap, but you're not using him for that really. You're using him for his young sage ability. With the Ring of Durin as well, he can spend a will point to enable his side to re-roll the priority roll. That'll give you 4 rolls to re-roll priority, which can absolutely dictate the game. Because the amount of times I've rolled a 1 on priority and they've rolled a 2, it breaks me. And my poor little Angmar are like, no. But in Dwarves, we're just like, yeah, alright then, I'll re-roll it.
I couldn't disagree with you more, man.
But with thrown weapons, everything, it's just dictating the turns. I love it. And even if you don't want to go first, if it's not advantageous for you to go first, just re-roll it. But that's my point with young Balin. Cheap as chips. On top of that, you can mess with priority, and I love that.
I mean, alright. I'm going to state the case for young Dwalin. Young Dwalin, 3 attacks, 2/2/2 in Might, Will, and Fate. Defense 6, so he's got 1+ defense on young Balin. Yeah, he hasn't got the ability to change priority, but he's got heroic strike, so you've got another hero with heroic strike. He's got Dwarven Fury, so if you're playing an army which is primarily fight 3, if you have a spear support behind Dwalin, he can drop his fight value to essentially get Bane of Kings, and then his ability to piercing strike can go up to strength 6 as well. He's an absolute tank. Also, he's never considered unarmed, so even if you're playing Moria and his weapons get shattered, he can still fight. He can still continue to kill you. And in addition to that, I would have to say that on the tabletop, he looks way better as a miniature, but that's just me. But I feel like his ability to kill as well, he's basically a cheaper sort of budget Thrain, because he will cut through 5-6 models every few turns altogether. He will put that pressure on the opponent, who will then be struggling to not only deal with that, but also deal with the fact that you have so many defense 7, defense 8, defense 9 models that it will really just put that psychological hurt on them. And their game plan will just go out the window. So young Dwalin, essentially, he pressures the opponent into making decisions they don't want to do. The reason I wouldn't take young Balin, and this is just me, he's only 1 might point. Yeah, he can change priority, great, but you have the Ring of Durin, you can do that once per turn anyways, if you want to.
Once per game.
Once per game, yeah, once per game. But once per game is probably all you're going to need, in my experience anyways. And for 5 points extra, you can take a captain with 2 might points, defense 8, and march. And these guys need march. They need it.
Right. I like your points, and I'm going to give you absolute 10 points out of 10. He does look better on the tabletop. He does. Young Balin, I love UGW team who sculpt these models. You've done awesome, but I think his he's just a better looking model. I'm sorry. And the one thing that I love about him over Balin is he's fearless. And I know it's silly, courage 6, but then when you start getting against Angmar or Ring Wraiths, where you're rolling a lot of courage and there's Harbinger, the chance to roll under a 5 is there, and just not having to worry about that to tag up that one model or have that crucial charge, it's just huge.
Exactly. The only downside to one of the only downsides to young Dwalin is he's only fight 5, so he's a great troop killer. But when he comes up against those fight 6 heroes, he's going to have to strike up potentially.
Yeah.
And he's only got 2 might. I don't know. But again, you'd just be using him to primarily put the pressure on the opponent by killing as many troops as you can as quickly as you can.
Yeah.
Else the rest of your army just doesn't die.
Well, I mean, this vote's not as important as the first vote, but let me know what you think. Young Balin or young Dwalin? I still think Thrain or Thorin outshine these two, but if you're not bringing them, then you're going to probably bring one of these. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below, because it's always interesting. I love having a chat. The last thing I want to mention is another hero which you mentioned that I would take over both young Balin and young Dwalin. In my opinion, and that is the humble Erebor captain.
Yep.
Must have. It must have. Like, if you're not allying, and we'll talk about that in a minute, Erebor captain, or captain of Erebor, absolutely. Grimhammer captain, I don't like as much. He's more points for essentially what your captain of Erebor can do anyway. Yeah, I'm bringing this guy for March. Plus, for an extra 5 points, you can give him a shield, and suddenly he's a defense 8? Defense 8 roadblock that you can shield against heroes, monsters. Yeah, there's not much that can chew through defense 8 comfortably unless it's a monster. And even then, you shield with 4 dice. Yeah, you're probably gonna get a 6.
He's a beast, and he's got March, which is absolutely critical to this army, just to position them where you want them to go.
Yeah, if you're not bringing March with dwarves, I will personally send you a letter that will have written on it, "What are you doing?" Okay? Okay? You need to bring March with dwarves. They got stumpy little legs. You need to march about, okay? I wish we got war drums, but we're not evil. So, yeah.
They're dangerous over short distances, remember that. To get them there, you need to be able to march.
I'm not even joking. Like, March has won me games. Absolutely. Won me games. You need it. You need it. Even if you don't, even if you're not 5-inch move, I still whack March in my lists. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
gets the objectives quicker than your opponent.
65 points for fight 5, defense 8, strength 4, 2 attacks, 2 might, 1 will, 1 fate. Like, yeah, I'll take that.
With the ability to get a strength 5 when he needs to.
Yeah, he comes with an axe. So
it's disgusting.
Yeah, like the chances of rolling a 3. I mean, what is it? It's 1 in 3, but you know, it's also a 1 in 3 chance to roll a 1. So you go down to defense 7 again. You know, most troops are still killing you on like 6s. Plus, you've got a fate and 2 wounds. Like, yeah, he can do both. He can do everything. He can kill troops, or he can be a roadblock. Yeah, I love him, and I call my captains.
He'll do whatever you need him to do.
Like Captain K, in my tournament, survived every single game. Him and Thraw, like surprise. Thraw survived everything. Defense 9.
Thor is a man who can never die.
Yeah. Excuse me. So last thing I want to mention before we get into like lists and that, probably should talk about the humble warrior.
Yeah, agreed.
He's a dwarf warrior. He's 8 points. You can give him a war horn, a banner, a shield, a spear, but he comes with dwarf armor and an axe. Love it. Love the axe. Okay. And just bear in mind, if you buy him a spear, it does not replace the axe. That is very important. All dwarves are fight 4. Downside, they're strength 3. Don't agree with that. I'm a dwarf. I'm a hench. I'm a Chad. But whatever. He's defense 7 with the shield. 1 attack, 1 wound, courage 4. Like, it's a solid profile.
Yeah, I mean it's a Khazad dwarf with a spear. Like, what more could you want?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you've got spears with dwarves. That's insane. Like, coming from a bloke who played like Middle-earth games before this was a thing. Dwarves with spears, like, I mean, I had Vault Warden teams in my old dwarf army, and like, you know, they're 25 points for the 2 of them. Like, you can't exactly chin off the foe spear to go and support some random dude. The shield needs him. But just having access to spears in your army is just huge. Yeah, don't. it is massive. Rolling those 2 dice rather than 1, like, yeah, it's massive. And being defense 7, like, why?
Yeah.
Why are they so hard? Even they are hard to kill, and they are 10 points if it's just a spear and shield. And then in combat, if you're feeling pretty, you know, cheeky, yeah, frisky, you can piercing strike with your axe, and suddenly you're strength 4. Near Thorin, you're strength 5 with piercing strike. Yeah, that's just, they're so versatile. I love these dwarves. I love Army of Thraw.
They can go up to strength 4, and if you're fighting a fight 3 army, they can go up to strength 4 with re-rolling 1s through fainting if they've got a spear support. Yeah. It's filthy.
Yeah, and then you've got Thorin if you want to bring him for the strength, just a +1 strength. It's just, yeah, I love it. Absolute Chad.
What can you do against such reckless hate?
Exactly. And here's a question for you. Do you have a specific... I've jumped you with this question. Do you have a specific rule for how many spears minimum you bring to an army?
Minimum 50%. Like if I'm bringing 50% in terms of 50% spears for 50% guys without spears but without ranged weapons. So if I'm bringing 18 Grimhammers, I have to bring 18 spears for them. That's just me, anyways.
No, I like that. No. See, 50% is my ideal space. My minimum is probably a third. So
yeah,
if you've got, I don't know, 9 models, you've got at least 3 spears. Minimum. Absolute minimum. But no, you want half and half, I would say. Because, man, the spear supports with the 6-inch banner, like, as you said, you can... it's just amazing. I love having spears. Downside to Army of Thraw, no range apart from 6-inch throwing weapons.
Yeah, that is a problem. Your threat potential, if you're fighting like Rohan and they just want to kite you, yeah, they can kite you. They're not going to kill very many of you, but at the same time, you don't have much in the way of a response, if any at all, if they just want to ride around you and kite you.
Exactly. And if it's just I don't know, one of those just kill point games, like why would they engage you? Why? There's no reason to.
Yeah.
But
They
we're gonna talk lists now, I think.
We are.
Allies. You know what? Okay. 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐬 is relatively popular. But I think, in my opinion, they are weaker than Army of Thraw. And that's because A, they don't have spears, apart from foe spears, and B, their alliance metrics suck. They're like convenient allies with everyone, or red allies. Like, no way. But
yeah, and their army bonus is relatively powerful as well.
reroll ones to wound, like everyone's got poison, and then you've got your Hearthguard who are burly rerolling ones to wound. Like, you're not giving that stuff up. Come on. Army of Thraw, what have we got? We have got Army of Dale, or Garrison of Dale, sorry, and we've got Iron Hills as our green allies. We're ignoring yellow allies. Like, yellow allies, it gets absolutely messy. I don't, as you know, probably if you've watched previous videos, I don't like yellow allies. Doesn't mean don't bring it, because you can bring wacky lists, sure, but I love playing for the theme. And we can be absolute neckbeards here and still be green allies. So, I think it's quite obvious, like, the ally that I've taken. It's going to be Iron Hills. It's going to be Iron Hills. It's got to be. You can't. No filthy humans. Like, yeah, the Dale bows at strength 3 are pretty sexy, but they're too many points. I think Warrior Dale with I'm going to butcher this name. What's it called? An Escarath bow.
Yeah.
What are they? Like 9 points per model?
9 points. 9 points with a strength 3 bow. But also, they need to bring 50. You need to bring 33% bows. So even if you're bringing them, 66% of what you're bringing is just regular Dale warriors, and they're absolutely rubbish.
Yeah, I'm not. I like them. I think their defense are a bit low. I like a theme in my list, and my theme is we are absolute chads who do not die. So I want to keep defense 6 as a minimum. So my list, I would suggest, so either run pure Army of Thraw, but I don't think that's its full potential. Its full potential is bring in Iron Hills, because they make up everything you're missing. You are missing cavalry, and you're missing shooting. And Iron Hills have probably the best weapon for shooting in the game, which is a crossbow, aka a boss bow, aka an X-bow. Like, they're strength 4. You can't move and shoot, but who cares? It's 24-inch range. Like, at some point you're going to be shooting at people. On top of that, your blokes who are shooting these crossbows are defense 6 at fight 4.
Yeah.
At strength 4.
Strength 4 as well. With axes. It's a strength 5.
Oh, I've got to check if they've got axes. But
they might have swords.
I think Iron Hills are weird. They might have swords. Weirdos. Like, they're barely dwarves, aren't they? If you don't run an axe, like, come on, boys, what's going on? But I love them. Yeah, they get a sword. What's that about? But I mean, you
They
see,
can feint.
you can feint, you can stab, depending on who you fight. But I love them because, yeah, what is it? A crossbow is 1 point for these boys. You exchange a shield, which is why it's cheaper, and they become 12 points, which is exactly the same price as a Iron Hill warrior with a spear.
Yep.
So you've got shooting, check. You can spend 20 points on cavalry. I haven't yet because I've got march in my list. I've got some range shooting, so you've got some pressure at range at strength 4, which people are scared of, absolutely terrified of.
Terrified of strength 4. Terrified.
I mean, your orc bows fill my mounted heroes with terror. So imagine how I feel if I see, 4 to 5 crossbows across the table from me. And just
they're brilliant, right? There's just an element of area denial. Because with these dwarves, how I feel is they set up, they're chunky boys. Like, you're not going to get through them. And then on top of that, you got 4 or 5 crossbows, 3 to 5 crossbows, I would say, take as a minimum. And they're just denying, the area with the threat of, I'm going to kill a couple of guys, I'm going to take your hero off a mount, I'm going to take a number of knights off their mounts. It messes with your opponent.
It's just so tasty. I love it. And then, okay, the biggest, one of the biggest, I'm all about synergy and everything having a role in my list. And the reason I've allied Iron Hills into my list, drank some Heineken, please sponsor me. No, I'm joking. Is because I bring their captain. So instead of an arable captain, if I can, I'll bring an Iron Hills captain. He's a bit more pricey. He's 80 points rather than 65. But screw you, Grimhammer captain. But he's absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Yeah. He's got shield wall. Okay, so if he's with his muckers, which he is, I always bring about six spearmen or something like that with shields. So you've got a little kind of phalanx going on, not a phalanx, a shield wall going on. You've got defense 8 troops around him. He becomes defense 9. So I've got 2 defense 9 heroes in my list. I've got march, and then I've got a 5+ master of battle. So if you do run out of might, there's a 1 in 3 chance you just nick your opponents within 6 inches.
Yeah, he's unbelievable for his points. Defense 9, march 2 might points, fight 5. I think he comes with a sword as well, so you can't go to strength 5. But if you have a spare 5 points, throw it on him. Give him an axe.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if you have an extra point, if you have an extra 5 points, upgrade your front rank to have axes to go to strength 5. And even if they pierce and strike, the worst they can go to is defense 5. But they'll probably still be defense 6 or 7. So it's not the end of the world.
I love that. That's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing.
You know what I mean?
I love it. On top of that, last thing I love about having Iron Hills as an ally is because Maelstrom is at every tournament. Have you been to a tournament without Maelstrom?
Never.
No. And Iron Hills army bonus, and because you're green allies, you still get it. That warband will be able to modify their role for Maelstrom deployment by +1 or -1, which is huge. Okay, you can get them closer to where you need them to be.
Absolutely huge. So if you're playing something like Hold Ground and you have to go first, deploy these guys last. So wherever they need to be to bolster your army, they can get there reliably so with 2 might points and a +1 or a -1 if you need it. They are brilliant. I love them. I would almost always ally an army of Thraw into Iron Hills just because you get that range threat, just because you can get goat riders, a shield wall. It's up to you if you have the points. If you want to take a banner if you can, because they don't benefit from Thraw's 6 inches. But even then, they're only going to be a small contingent, and the overall vastness of your army is going to be army of Thraw. So it doesn't really matter if you don't take it. No. Unless you want to play very competitively and you need a banner for VPs, then they can bring you a banner. Because they don't benefit from Thraw's 6 inches, but even then, they're only going to be a small contingent, and the overall vastness of your army is going to be army of Thraw. So it doesn't really matter if you don't take it.
No.
Unless you want to play very competitively and you need a banner for VPs, then they can bring you a banner.
I had a cat attack me. It didn't attack me. She just got excited and started like meowing loudly. Yes, sorry, I interrupted you completely with what you were saying, Arash. Well, I didn't. The cat did.
No, I was just saying, like, if you want to run army Thor absolutely efficiently and optimally, take Iron Hills. You can also take a banner with them. I mean, you can take a banner regularly, but you can take a banner with them because they don't benefit from Thor 6 inches. If you have the points, I would do it. You also get the VPs for it as well if you're going to a tournament. These guys are absolute bloody Chads from the Chad lands of the East. They're amazing. You can bring Dane if you have the points as well, and you know what he's like. He's got 3 mic points with March, and he's fearless, and he's disgusting. You've got the Goat Riders, you've got the crossbows. I would honestly run these guys with Iron Hills anywhere above 650 if you can, if you want to. A lot of dwarf players I've noticed play dwarves just for the vibes and the aesthetics.
Oh yeah.
I haven't met too many competitive dwarf players.
No, we're gonna change that though.
Yeah, 100%.
The dwarves are the way forward.
See the light.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as you know, we're both evil players, and dwarves. I mean, they blow me away. Army of Thraw, like the models, just painting them because I'm a big painter. I love painting, and I love painting the Grimhammers. I love painting Thrain, Thor, all that stuff. But on the tabletop, I took them to that tournament, and they just did so much better than I thought. On top of that, this new list I've come up with for my 650 points, I have allied Iron Hills in just because, you know, I wanted the models and I wanted to paint them. Like, yeah, I've got, just to break down my list real quick in case anyone's interested, I will be testing it out quite a lot soon, I've got, obviously, Thraw.
Yeah.
He's got 10 Guardians of the King, so they're all upgraded to be Strength 4. I've got Thrain with 10 Spearmen, Arable Warriors with shields as well, so they're all defense 7 with spears and axes. On top of that, I've got Iron Hills Captain, and he is leading 4 crossbows and 6 warriors with spear and shield. So I've got a nice little shield wall. I've got defense 7 thrown weapons with bashing, piercing, striking. I've got Thror as my leader. So he's just unkillable. I've got Thrain to kill troops or heroes, and I've got an Iron Hills Captain who is also defense 9 in a shield wall that can shield. Ugh, disgusting. I love it.
It is disgusting.
Yeah, and I've got range as well. I've got strength 4 strength 4 shots. Like, it's not much, but if I've got a 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐜𝐿 player, like, yeah, I'm taking their horses out on 4s, taking their blokes out on 5s. Happy days.
You hit back. You hit back.
Yeah,
that's what matters.
We hit back. We hit back. And the good thing about that is I can shoot them as they try and shoot at me. They're probably needing 6s by 4s against like a good chunk of my army, or at least 6s. Well, no, it'd be 6s by 4s for defense 7. Yeah.
It would, yeah.
Whilst I'm needing 5/4s depending on what I shoot at against most things. Gross.
It's beastly. It's beastly.
I'm really excited to test this list out. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, we're honestly considering taking a 50-50 to Ardacon, aren't we? Army of Thraw and Iron Hills. That's how much we've been blown away by it.
Yeah, because as we experienced last year, lot of shooting. And we don't want to just go, we'll bring Blinding Light. Like, no, that means we have to play elves and no thank you.
Yeah.
But
no more Rivendell Cav who roll incessantly 6s and 5s when they're to wound rolls, swapping out dices, etc., etc. Mention no name.
Yeah, I'm gonna swap to my red dice for the wound roll.
Yeah. Oh, can we use it? No. Okay.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool. And Ardacon this year, hopefully I get a ticket. I should do. I'm super famous now, you know. But it will be on the channel, 100% recorded whilst we're there. So that'll be pretty tasty.
Yeah, you've upgraded your camera equipment and stuff, so we can video our games and see how it goes.
Yeah, and that's thanks to everyone on YouTube. Thank you. Even just watching is amazing. Liking the videos, stuff like that. It's absolutely amazing. It's helping the channel grow so much. I'm going to stop preaching about the channel now, but I love you all. You're amazing. But yeah, Army of Thraw, big thumbs up. Okay, we've got to do the tier thing. Where would you tier it?
I want to create a new tier for itself. I want to say it's a vibe tier, but yeah, I'll put it in neckbeard. If you play them right to support survival, it's neckbeard tier.
If you ally Iron Hills, I'll give it the neckbeard.
Yeah,
I'll give it the neckbeard.
If it's pure Army of Thraw, it's middle tier to I'm just here for the vibes.
Yeah. Because I mean, I've gone against Army of Thraw twice at a tournament. One was against Black Riders, so that's not really a true experience of it. So I was using Black Riders. The other time I was using Angmar, and I just couldn't kill him. I loved it.
Even with the shade.
With the shade, just sat there, just like, yeah, you might want to do rolls. He was like, yeah, sweet, cheers.
You don't die.
Yeah, just nah, it's not gonna happen.
No, we don't do that here.
Yeah, dwarves don't do that. But no, I think they're fantastic. I'm really enjoying them, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. I've got a tournament in a couple of days. You should see a video up about that, or at least me talking about it, depending on if my camera's going to work. But you'll find out how I do with that 650 point list. It's going to be fantastic, and I'm sure Arash, you'll let me know how you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Dwarfs, let's go. I can't believe I'm just seeing them now for what they are.
Yeah, no, I think we both just kind of like chinned them off, just like, yeah, no, thank you. Yeah. I'm sorry, where's the ring wraith in this list?
You don't need it. Try and magic me when I'm defense 9.
Yeah, it's like, all
even
right.
if you black dot me, you're wounding me on what, 4s, and then I've got the Arkenstone, so come at me.
Yeah, like I've been transfixed with my Thraw, and I was just like, cool, I'll just shield, I guess.
Literally it.
Yeah, and they just don't hurt me. It's like, cool, that was a wasted, 2-3 will, whatever you threw at it.
I love it when people with strength 2 bows are shooting at Thor. I'm like, yeah, just keep going, man. Just keep going with your 10 to 15 bows, just shooting at Thor 10 after 10. Like, I leave him at the front. I literally leave him on the front. I don't even hide him behind the lines.
No.
It's like, yeah, just shoot him.
Yeah, do it. Like, what is it, 6s by 6s or something?
Yeah, 6s by 6s.
Yeah, like...
And you have a 4-up shoot value. Like, keep going.
Like, yeah, okay. Yeah, come on then, let's do this. But I think this is going to be our list for Ardacon, don't you?
Yeah, I think it's sorted. I think it's sorted for me.
I need to get more Iron Hills, so jump on that Patreon. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I need Iron Hills. We're gonna have an absolute solid list, I think. Anti-shooting for the pure fact of we'll just take it to the beard.
And if you want to game test our doubles list, find a partner, jump on Discord, and ask us for a game.
Absolutely. Link for the Discord in the description down below. Yeah, we're both relatively busy blokes, but we always have time at some point to play a good test game of Middle-earth, and we need to test this double list out. We need to refine it.
Yeah, and you can help us, and maybe refine your own list in time for Ardacon.
Exactly. And then when we meet each other at Ardacon, we can all have a drink and laugh about how we played on TTS, but nothing like that happened in real life because TTS dice are weird. Your orc bows, man.
Oh man, I'll take 3 and they'll kill like a Lendl in the second turn.
Yeah, they really will. Or like D-Horse guaranteed. It's like, oh, Lendl's in a heroic combat without 1 orc. I'm definitely going to kill him even though I need 6s.
That's actually happened where Lendl's been in combat and I've tried to kill the orc, but I've ended up killing a Lendl. Happy days.
So good. But I think that's all I've got to say about Army of Thraw. Plus, I mean, we haven't mentioned Dale, but I'm not going to be bringing Dale, so let me know if you bring Dale in the comment section down below. I'm sure it's a good ally, but can it top the Iron Hills? I don't know about that. One thing I forgot to mention about Thrain, though, okay? I've got a bit of a meta around here where everyone's bringing Azog, like the Pits of Dol Guldur, and Thrain rerolls all failed wounds against an army that includes Azog. So he becomes even more disgusting. He's got Bane of Kings at +1 to wound.
Baby Kings.
Love that roll. So,
Oh my god.
but yeah, any closing points from you, Arash?
Buy the dwarves, buy them, spam them, see how they do. Let us know how they do. Comment down below how you do. And yeah, join the Discord and hopefully you can get a game in soon.
Absolutely. And if you enjoyed this video, this competitive chat, do hit the like button because it lets me know that you guys want this. Also lets Arash know that he's awesome. Yeah, and if you're feeling especially saintly today, or especially dwarfy today, do consider subscribing, and I can guarantee that Thrain's spirit will visit you and tell you that you're an awesome dude. But even if you don't do either of those things, I still hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.